All right, so this is 4 hard truths that every creative needs to understand. Let's go. Hard truth number 1, create or suffer the consequences. So as a creative person, your temperament is basically, you're high in a trait called openness. Openness to experience, specifically on the Big 5 factor model of personality. What that essentially means is there's a biological component to your creativity. I could go further into it, but it essentially means that you have the ability to create both novel and useful ideas in different domains. If you have this personality or this temperament, the creativity that you use in your life is also a buffer for your satisfaction in life. So if you don't create, and you might be able to relate to this, but if you don't create, you'll notice that maybe you get foggy, or you get sad, or you maybe suffer a bit of depression, or have like kind of a mood disorder or whatever. Your creativity is you can think of it as like an immune system for your homeostasis. So if you want to regulate your moods, it's very important and vital to you as an individual to create. So create or suffer the consequences. Hard truth number 2, people are not really going to get you. You've probably experienced this most of your life, being the odd man out, odd woman out, being a bit eccentric, seeing things different. Like, I'll bet that a scenario where maybe you're looking at the Sistine Chapel and you're just like engulfed in the beauty and the colors and the radiance, and the person next to you is like on their phone chatting. Like, that's probably a nice little simile or like metaphor for a lot of things in your life. Like, you see this transcendence that people just can't really tap into, and it's not because they're dumb, it's because you have you are wired to kind of seek out and feel that depth. So, but because of that, it's going to make you a bit weird, especially in the kind of traditional system that you're in with, you know, corporate work and different structures. Like, you're kind of wired to see things abstractly and push those bounds, so that makes you a little bit weird. Sorry. Hard truth number 3, kind of going off of that same vein, because you live in a traditional place where most people aren't going to be on the edge, like basically where you live, you're going to have to adapt to that. So most creatives have a really difficult time monetizing their creativity, and we'll get to that in the last hard truth. But because of that, it's in your best interest to organize your life in a relatively traditional way, which is really hard for you because you're not a traditional person. But nonetheless, like, monetizing your creativity and making it as a creative is extremely hard to do. There's so many statistics that will break your spirit that I'm not even going to put it out there. But also, we live in an environment and a culture right now where any creative can get their ideas out there and be successful, but it's going to be really hard to scale it, and it's going to be really hard to sustain it. So, you know, it's a good time to be a creative. It's a great time to be a creative, but nonetheless, it's very hard to monetize, and there's a lot of competition, high risk, high reward. Good luck. Hard truth number 4, you need to embrace selling out. So creative types often they identify with authenticity, and there's often this like snuffing at the idea of selling out. And dude or lady dude, you do not have the time to think that way. If you want to get your creative business off the ground, you need to embrace marketing, and you need to embrace selling your idea and productizing yourself. If you aren't willing to do that, you're literally like, you're already hobbling on one leg and you're cutting off your leg. So you need to embrace that. Embrace selling out as much as you can, because most creatives, they never ever even get the chance to sell out. So that's a hard truth for you. You may at some point have to sell out, but that's a good thing, and it's something that you should embrace. You know. So those are the 4 hard truths that every creative should know. Let's end it with a high five.